And yes, I drove myself in labor. I was having literally like terrible contractions, but at that time I did not think that it was real labor. I just thought like I was just having pain. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. I'm Heba. I post on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. If you guys do not follow me on here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. And really the last time I've been on here was a month ago, my video of being postpartum, like a week after giving birth, and about adjusting to being a mother of two. And since now I've just been sitting and chilling and healing, now it's time to get back into YouTube. I really miss filming videos and stuff. So this is actually gonna be a VBAC video. I know a few of you on Instagram asked me about my VBAC journey and how I was able to do that. And I am so grateful, alhamdulillah, that this time I was able to give a vaginal birth. And that's what VBAC is. It's vaginal birth after C-section, if you're not familiar with it. So with Adam, I had to have a C-section because his heart rate dropped down, and it sucked because I was already at 8 centimeters, but alhamdulillah, he came out healthy and everything was fine. But I really wanted to push for a vaginal birth this time, so I was able to do that. So I'm going to get into the story, how I advocated for myself, and so on. So we moved to Texas about a year ago. So in May, I think around I think we signed our lease the 25th. So we've been living in Texas now a little bit over a year. I found out I was pregnant in, I think, September. And so if you follow me on TikTok, you'll see the little surprising my husband and son video that I posted on there. And then I also posted on my Instagram as well. And then I had Adam open like a little cake for like the gender later on. But pretty much September. So Adam's birthday is September 20th, and so I surprised him on that day. And it's crazy how fast the time has flown, subhanAllah. Like now that it's like we're getting close to almost 2 months postpartum now, which is insane. But anyway, so that's when I found out I was pregnant in September, and I was like not expecting it at all, but I was so excited. And the entire time I was like, I'm probably gonna be a boy mom. Like I don't think it's gonna be a girl or whatever. And we found out early because we did like the genetic testing to see if she'd have any kind of genetic issues, whatever it is. So we did the blood test, and then you can also find out the gender if you want at that time, or you can wait later at the 5-month mark. And I want to know right away because I'm just like antsy and I don't have the patience for that. I know some people will wait until the baby's born, but I was like, I can't wait that long. So we found out I was a girl, alhamdulillah. And then that's when I did got one of those cakes, the nothing but the cake. And then inside there was a little pink rattle, and Adam took it out and stuff. The video was so funny because he was in denial that it was a girl. But alhamdulillah, he loves her now and he's just happy about it. So at the beginning, I found a doctor, and obviously being new to the Texas area, I didn't really review the doctors too much. I didn't know very many people, and people have given birth in the area that I was living in before. But I was able to find a good clinic, and so I went there. You know, the doctors were nice and everything. Clinic was clean, had pretty decent reviews. But it wasn't until about, I want to say 2 months or before giving birth. So my due date was originally May 25th, and my doctor was telling me I actually can't do VBACs. Our clinic is not able to support that because if anything were to happen, if your incision was to rupture, all those kind of things, our hospital will not be able to handle it, blood supply. And I was just I remember sitting in silence at the clinic. I was like, what is this? Why would you tell me this late? And so I just kind of got frustrated because I was like, okay, it's already 3rd trimester. I have 2 months. And then she scheduled me for a C-section May 15th. And I was like, I really don't want to have another C-section. I already knew how terrible the recovery was the first time around. And I was like, I just really want to push myself to not have a repeat one, especially because I felt like my body was healthy enough and that I didn't have to. So during Ramadan, I just did a lot of praying and just making dua. I was praying istikhara. I was like, if this is supposed to happen this way, let it happen this way. If it's not, I really want to try for a VBAC. And then, alhamdulillah, I was able to find a Facebook group. I literally just searched DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, VBAC groups or whatever. And I was able to join one. And there was I don't know how many members are in there, but literally a Facebook group. And I just found it by chance. And I was reading other ladies' comments underneath and posts, and I saw that some other people were having the same issue too. They're like, are there any VBAC friendly clinics and hospitals in DFW? And it's a lot of people were in the same boat. They're like, I didn't I don't want a repeat C-section, all that kind of things. I literally went into the group and I posted about it too. I was like, I'm newer to the area and I'm really trying to find a doctor that'll do a VBAC. I feel like I'm a good candidate. And then like literally it was like as if a miracle, like God sent me a message. It was a doctor who actually moved here from Florida, moved to Texas from Florida, and she's like a big advocate for VBACs. And she ended up like commenting underneath, and she was like, my clinic is still accepting patients. It's okay if you're in the 3rd trimester. And I just got so excited. I was like, really? Can I switch to you? And like, she's like, yeah, my clinic can call you and set up an appointment and you can come in. And I was like, literally, I was like, this is amazing. I was telling my sisters, I was so excited. And alhamdulillah, like I was able to set up an appointment, and I literally had 2 appointments with her. I had one with her specifically, the doctor that messaged me on there. And then the second appointment was with one of her like team members, another doctor. And then I ended up giving birth on the 6th. So it was literally 2 appointments with them. And like the fact that I felt more comfortable with them in those 2 weeks than I did with my doctor the entire time is insane. And I think it's because they were really like advocating for me. They were like, your incision looks good. It's been 4.5 years since you had your last baby. You don't have any like medical issues that would limit you from not being able to push. So, and my due date was the 25th. They're like, you still have time, whatever. And I remember I went to the doctor's on Wednesday, and Layla was born Saturday. So she's the 6th, so 5th, 4th, 3rd. Yeah, so the 3rd, so May 3rd, I went to the doctor's appointment. I met with one of her team members, and she was like, you can give birth at any time. The baby will be healthy at this point. Like, you're far along enough. It's, it's not a big deal. I was 38 weeks at that point. And I remember the next day I went out with my friend, and we went out to like get coffee and whatever and like hang out and stuff. And then Friday night, after Adam and Valon had gone to sleep, I just could not fall asleep. I was having so much pain. But because I get really bad period cramps, I was like, maybe it's just Braxton Hicks. Maybe I'm just like, having some pain. Maybe it's something that I ate, etc. And so I didn't really think much about it. And like 11:30 hit, 12:30. And after a while, I was like, I really cannot sleep. So maybe I should just go to the hospital. And they told me if I'm ever having pain, just go straight to the hospital. And later on, they can call the doctor if I actually am in active labor. But I wasn't like really like believing that it was real labor because it was 2 weeks before my due date. So I was like, this is not going to be real. Layla's waking up. Let me grab her. Layla wanted to make a little, hi, a little feature in the video. Hi, baby. Say hi. It's like almost like she put her hand up. Hey, hey friends. Hi. Okay, I was not expecting it at all because it was 2 weeks before her due date. So I just went in there like, oh, I just have Braxton Hicks. And a few months before, I actually went into the original hospital I was supposed to have my C-section in, and they were like, you're not dilated or anything, it's just pain that you have, and you are having contractions, but your cervix is not dilating, so you should be fine and it should go away. And yeah, on the 5th, the night of the 5th, when I went to the hospital, I told Valon, go stay in the room with Adam, and I'm gonna go to the hospital and check and see if I'm in active labor or not. If I'm not, then don't worry about it. You guys keep sleeping. It was so late, it was like 1 o'clock or something. So I was like, let me drive myself to the hospital. And yes, I drove myself in labor. I was having literally like terrible contractions, but at that time I did not think that it was real labor. I just thought like I was just having pain. And it was probably like, I would say like a 20-minute drive. And so I was driving, like every time I'd get like a pain, I could like squeeze my eyes. I'm like, okay, keep your eyes open. And like the roads, even the lights were flashing, the traffic lights and everything, because it was so late, or I guess early. And then by the time I got there, it was like about like 2 or 2:30 in the morning. I checked into the hospital, and like that was my first time being in there, so I didn't even know where I was going. And the guy at the reception desk, he was like, or security, he was like, oh yeah, just go up the elevator and you go inside and then they can check you in. So I went there, I told them like, I'm having pain, but I'm not sure if it's active labor, blah, 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 whatever. And then they checked me in. And the lady was so cute. It's like little like older lady or whatever. And she was like, okay, let me check you out and let me see how far along you are. And then she had to get someone else to come and help. And I don't know why it was hard to like see the cervix for some reason, but they were able to tell that I was like already like 3 centimeters. And so they're like, okay, yeah, it's time to check in. So like change your clothes, get into a gown, get comfortable. And it was crazy because I remember like contacting my sister and I was like, yep, I'm here at the hospital. It's like 2, 3 a.m. And then she ended up calling my other sister, calling my mom, and like they all like freaked out because it's so late and like it was so early. because I was 2 weeks early, and so like I wasn't even expecting it. I wasn't ready. I didn't even bring a hospital bag with me. I had it packed at home, but like I didn't brought anything with me. I just had my phone, my charger, and then just like my purse and wallet and stuff. So anyways, I was checked in, and then like I texted Valone too. I was like, you know, I am in labor, but it's so early now, so you guys just come like later on. I'll keep you updated. So after like a few hours, you know, I was getting more and more pain, but I was like doing pretty fine. And then eventually Adam and Valone came, and I don't remember what time it was because she wasn't born until like 1:40ish or something p.m. So that entire time I was in labor, but it wasn't too bad. And at some point, I can't remember the exact time, I ended up getting an epidural. And I feel like when you have a VBAC, they usually like you to have an epidural just in case, like, you know, your C-section incision ruptures and then they have to get you into surgery. You already have that like pain medication in your system. So they're like, it's probably better to get an epidural. And at first I was like, maybe I can try naturally, but I was like, I think it's just smarter to do it that way because this will be my first time pushing. And if anything were to rupture, even though the incision had healed really well. And like back in the day, they used to open you vertically versus horizontally, and so like now they open you horizontally, and it's like a very small incision, so it heals a lot better. So yeah, after epidural and everything like that, Valone and Adam came in to see me, and you know, Adam was so excited. You know, he thought the baby was already here, and we were trying to get Adam to go to his Montessori, but like he was so excited, he wanted to already see her and everything, even though she wasn't born yet. But I was like, it's fine, just bring him, it's okay. So while I was like laboring and like they were staying and hanging out in the room with me, the doctors came in to check in on me, the nurses, and it was like a few hours, like they were just staying there with me. They got some snacks, etc. And then once it was like getting to the point where they're like, oh no, you should start pushing now, they didn't actually allow kids in the room. And like I wouldn't have put Adam in front of me anyways because I'm like, I don't need him to see that. But I would have had him like sit somewhere and like just be outside the room. And they were like, we just don't want any kids in here at all. And since I didn't have any other family or anything with me, I was like, that's fine. Like Valone can take Adam out, and they went to go like get some snacks from the hospital. I think he might have taken him out to like kind of get his energy out. And I said, just come back when she's like born. And I don't know why, like a weird feeling, because like almost like I was like hanging out with friends and they're all like pushing for me and like, you know, rooting me on and everything like that. And also I really recommend, if you are going to have birth naturally, is to put a mirror. And so they ended up bringing one in to help me push, because she was getting to the point where she kept going back into like the birth canal and coming back out again. And so I was like getting kind of worried, and that was my first time pushing, but they did such a good job with helping me kind of get through it. And it was so weird because epidural made me like extra numb this time, so like I felt like I couldn't even feel my legs, but it was weird because I could feel the contractions. So it was just a weird feeling. But because it was daytime, I felt like I was just laying there chilling. It was so comfortable, alhamdulillah. And she came out really easily, and I didn't really have much pain at all. And I think it's because I had a C-section before, so this was so much more different. You get the baby right away with C-section recovery. Like you don't get the baby until like hours later because they have to sew you up and all this kind of stuff, and you're in pain. So alhamdulillah, it worked out that way. And then when Adam came in, he was so excited. If you watch my video that I posted a month ago, you'll see his like reaction and everything like that. It's so cute. I really think like a huge thing if you want to get a VBAC is finding a doctor that's VBAC friendly. And I feel like that's the first question that you should ask your doctor is, can you do a VBAC? And some doctors at the beginning, they'll be like, oh yeah, for sure, whatever. And then they'll switch on you later, you know? And so I feel like trying to find someone that's really advocating for you, someone who's gonna make you feel comfortable. If you end up in the delivery room later with just your doctor or your nurses, I feel like it's all about your team and who's looking out for you. And I never thought that I'd be like in the room just with the doctors, but honestly, because they were so good, it felt so comfortable. Like it literally felt like I was hanging out with friends, and it was just a really good experience, alhamdulillah. But like, yeah, I was not expecting the recovery because my only experience was with a C-section. So then my mom ended up coming down from Wisconsin, and she had to like rebook her flight because she was expecting to come like the weekend of the 15th, because I was originally scheduled that day to have a C-section, even though I didn't want one, but I was like, that was actually scheduled. And then also I thought that she would just come later, but I ended up giving birth on the 6th anyway. So my mom ended up rescheduling her flight and figured it out. My sister helped her, so she was able to come the next day. and she's been here now for like a month. My family's Sudanese, and like staying with the woman after she gives birth and taking care of her, cooking for her, etc., which is such a nice tradition. And so it's been really nice to have her here, but she leaves in a couple of days, and so it will be me and Valone and Adam and Layla. It's just so crazy that we're like a family of 4 now. But alhamdulillah, she's helped me so much. But this recovery is so different from C-section and a lot better. And it seems like it's scary to push, but honestly, if you have a good team, it really helps a lot. So that was pretty much the whole journey. Definitely, if I do have more kids, definitely would push for another vaginal birth, inshallah. But we will see. For now, it's just gonna be this little one, this little nugget for now. Yeah. And then I think it's time for milky time, right? Let's check the time. Let's see what time it is. 2:51. Yeah, let's have some milk. Okay? You've had a VBAC. Right in the comments below. I want to see what your guys' journey was, you know, like how long you guys were in labor, did your doctor advocate for you, etc., and how did it go? But that was pretty much my journey, and it's crazy because I never thought I would like be able to give birth naturally, but alhamdulillah. So we're gonna wrap this up now because it's real baby life, and it seems like she wants to drink. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and say bye, Layla. Layla's like, I don't want to talk to you guys. See you guys later. Okay, bye. Bye, baby. Look at Layla, look here. Say bye, friends. She's like, I don't like it. I don't want to be on here. She said, thank you guys for all your love and your du'as. Bye. Bye.